Beautiful. That was the pre-show, guys. Welcome back to the GBC show. We're probably rolling already. We've been rolling for the last 20 minutes. Not really. Oh, the mics have been rolling though, not the video. Boom. GBC. Yeah, we kind of scrambled last minute on what we were going to talk about on this one. We're going to do an interview. Were we going to interview somebody in the office? Or were we going to talk? Because we like to be prepared, but we didn't prepare a whole lot for this one. But that's okay, because we're going to roll kind of off the top here. Yeah, we're going to roll with it. We're going to talk about two very important things. So we're going to try to streamline this podcast. We always try to bring the current world news going on, and then we throw in some business stuff, we throw in some life stuff, we throw in some personal stories and journeys. So we like to mix it up. But today, we're not going to get into politics. We're not going to talk about the shitty things going on with the government or in the world right now, although there's a lot going on. But we want to talk about two specific things that I think are going to make a major impact in the world. And I've learned that a lot of people just don't know. They don't know about it. And that's okay, because there's so much information out there. And the problem is with TikTok is you hear all of this information, but then there's not a lot elaboration on it. There's not like you just hear these terms thrown out. Level. Yeah, and then it overwhelms people, right? We're busy with our daily lives. But the good part is you have a bunch of nerds like us who research this stuff. And I think because the industry we're in, it helps. So I want to talk about two things. And I know that it's going to be a conversation here. Yeah, for sure. Okay? We're not experts on this, but I feel like there's a good understanding of how we can guide this. But basically, we want to talk about AI. And the reason that I wanted to make sure that we put this in a podcast is because lately I've been getting a lot of messages and people that are just like, exactly what is this? What's happening? Because we talk a lot about ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. So we want to talk a little bit about that, because I think that it's very important that we dive into this, that we're educated to understand that, hey, this isn't like a little trend that's happening. You know, our world it's big, and it's possibly the biggest thing there's a lot of people who are like, this is even bigger than the internet. So but first, before we dive into that, we are going to talk a little bit about the markets, cryptocurrency, and FedNow, because we talked about, if you go back, okay, you don't have to go back far. If you go back to like the second podcast, maybe we were talking about CBDC, and yeah, I think that was the second one. We were throwing out all these terms that at that point weren't really mainstream yet. They weren't being talked about like they're being talked about right now, because we saw it coming and it's here. So, but I also understand there's a lot of questions about FedNow, instant payment services, and of course, our passion for Bitcoin. So we're still dealing with a little bit of transition in banks. You got, just in the past week, you've got banks are closing people's accounts without any warning or explanations, which I dug into a little bit. And what's scary is it's like Chase Bank,
Chase Bank?
Yeah, and some of these other banks. So we're still in some bank trouble, but we'll stay away from that. Crypto, Bitcoin hit over 30,000, so it's still climbing. But let's keep it to the topic at hand, and that's FedNow. What is that? The federal government announced it June 1st or July 1st? Yeri, you know that, right? Yeah. Is it July 1st? I don't know the exact date, but it's definitely July. June or July 1st, the Federal Reserve is releasing FedNow instant payment services. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, this is to pave the way to a cashless economy. Mm-hmm. It's to pave the way for crypto. But the only thing I want to talk about today about it, to educate us on, is I didn't know exactly what it was. I knew it was a system that was going to offer instant payment and instant transactions. But, if only that was what it was. This is scary, Josh.
So I just pulled up a quick little article about it, and the big question was, is FedNow replacing cash? Is it a central bank digital currency? The quick answer is no. FedNow is not related to a digital currency. FedNow is a payment service that the Federal Reserve is making available for banks and credit unions to transfer funds.
Yes. So here's what my research, because that's it in a nutshell, other than
pretty much
will involve digital currency.
And so yeah, and it says the FedNow service is neither a form of currency nor a step towards eliminating any form of payment, including cash. That's what they say.
Do you know what this is? It's scary, bro.
Talk about it.
Basically, there's no like, it's not like Venmo. Like, you want to use Venmo? Okay, if so, download the app and you can send instant payments. This is basically a system that the Federal Reserve is essentially mandating and incorporating into all banking institutions.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be the gap between your bank, your money, and what you're buying. And I found out that last night, and I started to look into it. And so essentially, if you're on Amazon, whether you're talking current dollar out of your bank or obviously cryptocurrency, they're going to roll it out. So really the technology, if you look behind it and some of the companies that they've partnered with, Ripple and stuff like that, you know, it's really built around.
Threw that in there.
Yeah, it's really built around cryptocurrency transactions, but it'll start with our current dollars. But check this out, bro. It's basically, they're going to attach this service to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to buy something on Amazon. Typically, it will go from your bank, process through your card to Amazon, right? Then Amazon gets that money a day later or whatever the case may be, transaction periods. FedNow is going to attach and be the bridge between that. But here's the problem. Your money, every transaction you make, everything you buy, all the gas that you pump, the groceries you buy, whether you're at Walmart, Amazon, Aldi, wherever it is that you're shopping, your money's going to transition through FedNow first.
So it's not even like you and the bank's relationship. It's literally like you and the feds.
Pretty much.
Is like, damn.
Yeah. So what they're doing is they're
Interesting.
disguising this as instant payment, right? So the business is going to be able to get instant payment. It's just 24/7. Right, so there's no delays. So say, for example, as a business, this is where they're making it look good to us.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, if I pay you on Friday, you don't have to wait till Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You just get the money right now, 24/7. We can transact all day.
That's interesting. Because it's like, why? You know what I mean? Like, why would you take, it's basically taking not the power away from the banks, but taking that relationship that you would have with the bank and just taking like full control over that. That's interesting.
They're going to see, track, and monitor every single transaction that the American people make. That is scary, bro. That is so scary. And think about this too. What I was thinking about is if they shut it, right, it's going to control, and I'm wondering if it's going to control to the point where they won't let the transaction happen. You owe back taxes? Oh, no problem. Guess what? No transactions. Because you got to think of the legalities and stuff, right? For the government to really get into your bank accounts a lot. It requires a lot, right? Now, if they're the one controlling the transactions, they're seeing everything you're buying. So when it comes tax time and, you know, we're like, oh, we spent this much in that, all of that's done because they know exactly what we're spending, what we're buying it on. And yes, it'll be easy to freeze the transactions. So it's just another layer of the United States government.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Interesting, because I'm kind of reading a little more into it as you're explaining it as well, and it basically says like it'll be available to depository institutions such as banks and credit unions. Basically, that'll enable individuals and businesses to send instant payments through their depository institution accounts, and the payments basically could be received within seconds at any time of the day. Mm-hmm. So are they like disguising it as a way to, like, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, are they disguising it as a way to just get instant payments?
I think so.
You know, because right now, if you go to the bank and you transfer a large amount of money, you can't use it right away. It's going to take a couple of days for it to clear, or they're only going to clear like $250 out of, you know, I think at max. For the first day, and then the rest can come the next few days. So, or even just moving money around in general, right? Yeah. Typically, you have the processing time. When are you doing it? Is it after hours? Exactly.
But I think what's happened too is like Venmo. You know, you got to think the government's been trying to get a hold of Venmo and these companies for a while because now we can transact instantly, and now you can do instant deposit through these apps. So if I needed to send you money, I can send it through Venmo. And then you can pay the little fee and instant deposit it right into your bank account and get that money instantly.
Got you.
What it seems to me is that they're disguising it as they're going after all of those apps to say, hey, you know what? We can't get access to these records anyway. Because
they're just going to build their own fucking instant deposit app, and who knows where they might take it in the next few years.
Yeah, dude, I think it's just going to be part of just tracking everything. Again, this is theory, but FedNow is coming. You know, we don't have to dive too deep into that because I want to focus on AI, but that's what I found so far about FedNow, which, you know, goes back to this is just a case for Bitcoin. So all to say that, you know, Bitcoin is the people's opportunity to fight these powers and certain things. So it'll be interesting to see. Bitcoin is hitting not all-time highs, but it's hitting highs.
It's moving. It's moving. It's at around 30 right now.
Yeah, and then Ethereum just had some breakthrough technology. So they're saying this is going to secure the future stability of Ethereum and all of that. So a lot going on in the crypto world and all of that. But again, that's just our little
Did they mention what latest technology Ethereum had a breakthrough in?
Yeah, I haven't read up on it fully yet. That's the thing. So I don't want to give it in this podcast because I want to do some more in depth. But basically, it passed some layer of feature. And so it basically did the merge a few months ago or whatever. It's basically the steps that it's taken to secure its technology on the blockchain. But this one's called something different.
Shanghai.
The
Shanghai upgrade will unlock more than 18 million Ethereum.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So
stay tuned for the next episode.
Yeah, we'll get the details on that one and put some content out about it because I'm a huge fan of Ethereum and I think Ethereum's going to play a huge role into the future. But this is basically just another step of Ethereum leading in this technology. So, but we'll get those details. But from what it says is that, you know, this was not unexpected, but it was another challenge. It passed it, and this is definitely going to secure the future and the price of Ethereum. So, you know, Ethereum's still a safe bet, in my opinion, my eyes, when it comes to cryptocurrency. So, but again, the real reason we're here is AI. We have been playing with AI in this office for, to be honest, years. We were first given access to Jasper, which before that, it was something else before Jasper. And Copy AI is a fun fact. These programs are pretty big now, but they gave us free access to them 2 years ago because we were so early.
Through Jasper. I remember when I first got in here, you guys were using Jasper.
Yeah.
And I was first hearing those words.
Yeah, it wasn't like, dude, the founder of the company reached out to us and gave us a year for free.
Get out.
Because we were one of the early testers of it and they wanted us to beta it. And,
that's what's up.
You know, we used it for a while, not really like daily. It had its you know, errors. It was still being developed. But we were playing around with AI for a while in here.
For the people who don't know, what is Jasper? Like, what was it used for? Was that the AI copywriting tool?
It was a copywriting tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could basically, you know, give it a topic or a subject, or if you need a website copy or a blog, it would write it. But again, it was very, at that time, it was kind of faulty. You know, it had its issues. And so it was very hard to like fully adopt to. But now with ChatGPT,
shit's changed.
This has changed everything. And that's why I wanted to, you know, again, I know planning for it, we didn't have a lot, but I feel like we know enough. The main thing that I wanted to do in this podcast is just kind of give a little bit of insight, because I notice a lot of people that are like, what is it? And you probably see it all over TikTok. But what I've learned is not a lot of people are really talking about the technology itself and how it can play a role in our life, as much as they're just like showing its capabilities. But what I also understand is you can't really you can't understand the capabilities of something if you don't understand what it is and how it's going to play a role in our life, and understanding that this is huge technology. So I've been really diving into what this is going to play a role in our day-to-day life. And then it's also being talked about a lot now. On the radio this morning, there was, we listened to Johnny's House. Shout out Johnny's House. It's just a great radio show in the morning, so I always listen to it. But they do this like side with the parent. So you call in. So whatever issue is going on between the the spouses, you know, they give their side, and then the callers can call in and say who they're siding with.
Oh, so they give a scenario and then
I
got you.
Yeah, but this morning's was about a senior. Their daughter was caught. They found out somehow in her room that she used a AI software to write her essay. Well, the mom wanted to confront it, and the dad didn't want to confront it because he didn't feel like it was like that big of a deal. He didn't want to set her back. But it just, again, it brings up, you know, like, man, like I said, we don't need to be hiding from this. We need to understand that, A, it's going to be adapted into our day-to-day life.
Yep.
And B, we should be learning it
Yep.
and not be scared of it. And I get the whole...
And encourage your kids to learn it too. Like these are things that are coming out that are literally going to shape the future, right? And they're going to be around forever. So it's like, why try to hide your kid from using something like ChatGPT? Like, you know, it's not cheating, or maybe it is. I don't know. I get why you would think it's cheating, but at the same time, it's like, it's also resourcefulness, you know?
It is, man. It's like, I think the AI scares everybody.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh my God, we immediately go to what? iRobot, Will Smith, right? Oh my God, the robots are coming. They're going to kill us. But I think we have to look at it on both sides and realize that we've had this resistance for everything. I mean, dude, think about these when they first came.
Yeah.
But now they're a resource in everybody's life.
Yeah.
Right? And even in the beginning, you know, not everybody was for them. Not everybody was for social media.
Yeah.
It takes us time to adapt to certain things, but I think you have to look at it from a perspective of it's coming. Your opinion ain't gonna stop it.
I understand maybe like when it comes to kids and stuff, making sure the kid understands how to do it without something like ChatGPT first, right?
Yeah.
Like teaching the kid how to do their own research before they, you know, just go straight to a technology that's gonna basically write it for them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you can't just block somebody from using, you know, a resource that's there. So
yeah, because you have to think about it like this too. It helps drive the evolution of man too.
Yeah.
Because the faster that we can get access to information. I mean, look at Google. Google's changed our world forever. Overall for the better, right? Because you can learn anything on Google.
Pretty much.
But again, when it first came out, you know, or get caught cheating
everybody
using Google,
was like, why are you on Google? Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But now if you look at it, no matter the age or the generation or the business or the industry, we all love Google and use Google because it's resourceful.
But it replaced the encyclopedia. So instead of going to the library and picking up a book and, you know, turning pages for hours, you go on Google and do a search.
And is that a bad thing? That we don't use? You know what I'm saying?
When's the last time you picked up an encyclopedia?
That's what I'm saying,
bro?
but you know, you probably look, I'm sure there's people out there that are like, it ruined the encyclopedia. You know, you used to have to go in. Well, it's like, why would we glorify having to go in and sit in a library for hours and learn all of this stuff if we can get to it a lot faster and get access to faster things? Because at the end of the day, like, this is going to help people create better systems, better tools. It helps us operate more efficiently as humans. Mm-hmm. We don't need to spend time in libraries learning and researching if we don't have to. If we can get access to it a lot faster. And that's what's crazy about this. This is way faster than Google. Like you get things done way faster than Google.
Operationally, you work much faster. Like you don't have to sit there and write, you know, the whole paragraph. It'll write it for you. It'll do things like that for you.
Dude, I haven't used Google in 5-6 weeks.
That's fucking crazy. Yo.
Period. I don't look or ask anything to Google.
So to the most basic level, right, for somebody who's watching this, how would you explain ChatGPT to the most basic person?
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I had a few people that DM me and they're like, what is it? Mm-hmm. And it's kind of hard to just explain, especially via text.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, okay, well, so basically, you know, this system in its base form can be used for anything from, let's just take your day-to-day, right? What would you use Google for, right? So maybe diet, right? Maybe you're looking to go on a diet, or you're looking for recipes or things like that, right? This software can be used for that. And it's actually to the point where, you know, you can go to this software and say, for example, that was your goal, right? Let's say I want to go on a fitness journey, right? I want to get healthy. So what all does that involve? Well, that involves an exercise plan. That involves me following a specific diet. Then I got to learn the recipes to the diet. Then I got to find the grocery shopping list. I got to figure out my workouts. I got to build my schedule.
Yep.
All of that would still take a decent amount of time. Although,
to get every single one of them done,
Yeah,
for sure.
For
Hell
sure,
yeah.
right? You got to research it all, and then you got to go through all the pages, because you know how Google is. You don't know what website you're getting. You know, you're clicking on websites. You're trying to find the right blog with the right information.
Yeah.
Then you got to compile all that information. So what a tool like this would do is it would actually, you know, you basically prompt it and you just start with what it is. Hey, this is my, you know, I'm a 40-year-old male. I weigh 175 pounds. I would like to add muscle while toning up, and I need a workout plan and a meal plan to follow. Now, you're going to write me an exercise plan. I'm going to go to the gym Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. And then you prompt it. It will write the workout plan. Then you say.
But you would tell it. You would be like, hey, write a workout plan for me with these specific parameters, and it'll do it for you.
Yeah, it's really about telling it or asking it whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And obviously there's an art in searching Google.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to be specific. You have to tell it what you're looking for.
You do. And some people can search Google better than other people.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same thing with this technology. It's all about how I'm probably going to say it's probably more important to get the best results. It really comes down to your prompting or how you're instructing it to get what it is that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And you'll learn, you know, how to do that by just playing with it. The main thing is I would just suggest getting on it and playing with it, right? Ask it to write a meal plan. Ask it to give you recipes based on that meal plan. And then after that, tell it, all right, give me a grocery list based on this meal plan. This technology will literally lay all of it out for you. It will give you the meal plan, and then it will tell you, okay, here's the grocery list. You can even have it do a budget. Here's the grocery list and the approximate budget. And here's 10 recipes that you can, you know, accomplish with these ingredients.
Yep.
And so it's just about, again, and this is just the surface, and it's so hard to explain. But again, I think that, you know, it's just about getting on this platform. It's free, and starting to play around with it. Take things that you would take in Google and just put it in here. Then you start to realize how deep it goes, right? Let's say you're in a business where you have to write service agreements. It'll write a service agreement for you. It will write contracts. It will give tax guidance. It will create financial budgets. That's another thing which I was playing around with it. I thought was very interesting.
Yeah.
You can say, so for an example, you would go to it and say, hey, I make this amount of money per month. This is my bills. Create me a daily or a weekly budget to maximize my current income, to make sure that I pay my bills and create a savings, and I want an investment and then money to live off of. And you can literally tell it that, and it will create you an entire financial plan.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Things that you would have to go hire a financial planner for. It'll write you a service agreement. You know, let's just say.
So it's a time saver at the end of the day. That's what it seems like. It's just saving so much time.
It's crazy. And the main thing is, like, to get back to really is people don't know, I think, where to start with this thing. So I would just say that we have to, you know, starting off very basic with it, and maybe just duplicating what you do with Google. You know, I have it writing ebooks. You can have it do research for you. So let's just say, and this is why I think kids should be using it in school, man.
Yeah.
You know, let's say a kid is trying to become a dentist, right? And they have to go and spend, I could only imagine how many hours researching certain things about the teeth, or certain cleaning techniques, or certain things to even gather the information that they need to move on to the test. This type of technology will completely scrub all of that information, eliminate all of the nonsense of the research, because all research has nonsense in it, and it will completely bring you the substance of that research,
especially for what you're looking for. It almost seems like you have to be very specific in what you're asking it, but you have to naturally kind of be like looking for the information that you want to get out of it, because it's only gonna give you what you ask of it.
Yeah.
Right. So, for example, with that financial plan, like it seems like the more specific you are with exactly what you want, the more you're gonna get out of ChatGPT.
100%. Yeah, you want to be specific to it and talk to it, you know. The thing is, too, is just talking about this type of technology, and why I wanted to bring this up is just because I think that people don't really understand the impact and what's about to happen with this type of technology and how it's going to change what we currently know. So I feel like the sooner that people get on this stuff and the sooner we adapt to it, the better in general. Because we were looking, Alex was showing me something earlier where, you know, another thing that we do know that is coming is everything's going to go to voice and glasses. As odd as that sounds. I personally don't believe we're going to have phones in 5 years from now. Even a lot of your tech leaders are suggesting that and saying, hey, we're not going to have phones 5 years from now. Apple isn't really producing the phones. They're focused on building their glasses, and they're focused on building this new technology. So these types of systems are going to basically implement into all of the daily things we use. Amazon, your Instacarts, your DoorDash, your Ubers, all of these different technologies are all going to integrate with ChatGPT. So I was reading up on it, and basically Amazon, Siri, and then a lot of the apps I just mentioned, they're already integrating ChatGPT and OpenAI.
Now, are they integrating ChatGPT or their own form of AI? Because I know one of the apps that we use, Notion, it has its own AI platform in it that kind of mimics ChatGPT. You would prompt it certain things, and it'll do certain functions that you ask of it. So is everybody gonna like implement ChatGPT, or just the technology of it to make it their own?
From what I understand, it's OpenAI ChatGPT that's really driving this thing.
Gotcha.
And from what I also understand is a lot of these AI technologies that are mimicking ChatGPT are actually ChatGPT on the back end of it. So it's from, again, and this is just from what I'm understanding and what I've been reading in my own journey, you know, doing research on this stuff. OpenAI is the driving force behind all of this technology that we're about to see. So when we're seeing a lot of these AI models coming out, or chat, or, you know, these different prompt systems, it's typically more than likely going to be ChatGPT on the back end of these systems driving it. Now, specifically, like, is Notion using it? I don't know. I'm just, from what I see, with the plugin development and these apps getting it, it's OpenAI is this technology. This is the technology. This is only one program of this, but this has the big guys behind it. Elon, Bill Gates just dumped billions of dollars into it. Microsoft just dumped billions of dollars into it. And they're dumping all of this money into OpenAI, which is the company that created ChatGPT. But this stuff it's about to take a major turn. And so when I hear people that are like, don't really understand it, or aren't fully dedicating time to it, it worries me a little bit, because I feel like, say, for example, you know, we talk about cryptocurrency. I mean, it's like there's a lot there to learn, and there's a big gap, I feel like, and there's a process that has to take place when you're talking about changing currency.
Yeah.
But most technology changes, they come out of nowhere and they happen real fast.
Very quick.
Yeah, especially nowadays, right? It's like they just, all of a sudden, you don't realize that you're on Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that, right? It's like most people out there, and then, you know, fast forward just a few years later, everybody's on Facebook. The grandparents are on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then what? Before thinking about it, in a short amount of years, what? You're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, right? Without any conscious effort of,
especially the TikTok. The way the TikTok thing happened, like, bro, it was like pandemic TikTok. Everybody was just all over it.
It's crazy.
Because before that, nobody was really on it like that.
No, not at all.
I specifically remember Gary Vee talking about, like, 7 years ago, and I always, like, hold myself to this. He was like, yo, get on TikTok. Yeah. And this was early, like, 2018. Yeah. 2017. Dude.
Gary's so far ahead on it.
Fucking took off. So.
But yeah, it's just like that, dude. And then you don't realize. I think that's why this stuff is important, because it's like, why not? If it's coming this fast, man, why would you not want to get a heads up on it, you know, and start using it?
And then with how big it's grown, too, like it's not, it's not like theoretical that this is big. Like you look at the revenue that this thing is generated, or like the amount of users it's generated in a short amount of time. It's fucking crazy. It's like I don't know the number, but how many users?
It broke records. Yeah, it's
like, bro.
I'm gonna get the facts up
Yeah,
while we're
that's what I want.
It's the fastest growing user base in history of all platforms.
That's fucking crazy.
Not social media in general. There's never been anything that's ever received so many users in such a short amount of time. And here we are talking about it because still most people don't know about it.
They don't.
Which is crazy, right? Yeah. It reached 2 months after its launch, ChatGPT had an estimated reach of 100 million monthly active users, which makes it the fastest growing consumer application in history.
And it just launched. What, like, I don't remember seeing any ads on it. I don't remember seeing any publications on it. Like, that shit came out of nowhere, yo.
Bro, I have no idea.
Yeah, I remember when we first brought ChatGPT in the office. I was like, what the hell y'all talking about?
Yeah, Alex brought it to
Alex
us first.
found it?
Yeah, dude. And,
shout out to Alex, man.
Yeah, bro. Alex brought it to me on a Friday. I specifically remember.
Yeah.
But I think at the time when he showed it to me too, you know, we weren't really understanding what it was. So it was like the information we were trying to get out of it was just kind of like, I think he typed in like, when was the beginning of the universe or something, you know, and it just spit out all of this information. But then it was like that weekend when I got into it and started playing around with it, I started learning the basic capabilities of it. But 100 million monthly active users, this was in January. This is absolutely insane.
That is.
But again, it's just trying to give insight on what all's about to happen. You know, AI is about to play so many different roles. It's going to change a lot of industries, you know, and that's another thing. That's why I think it's important. That's something that I might just want to branch off and do some just regular content on anyway for businesses. But man, like businesses need to be adapting to this real quick because, man, it's going to change so many things. Like think about that, right? Typically something I would have to call an attorney's office for. Schedule a meeting with a lawyer, pay $60 for a 1 hour consultation, then pay them $1,000 to draft me up a agreement.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, it's
take a
real.
week, 2 weeks.
That's real.
And it's done, you know? Or a lease, if I wanted to lease this office, the amount of stuff I have to go through, now I could just, based on the state of Florida's leasing laws, write me up a lease between this person and this person for this date to this date, and boom.
You got it.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So, customer service, you know, communicating with customers and just building forms and building Excel sheets and spreadsheets and writing code. And, you know, this is just the beginning of this technology. If you look into OpenAI, man, they've got music coming.
Yep.
The way that we learn music, the way that we create music, the way that we write music is all about to change. The way that we shop, the way that we interact online is completely about to change. Man,
it's gonna be like your own assistant, your own little worker. Just have it do little things, little tasks that are tedious, and that you could just handle.
So you know? this website, the guy that Alex showed me this morning, he had basically used it to write a code to embed it into his Siri on his computer, to where he was just voice prompting it to do anything that he wanted it to do.
That's crazy, and he was able to get that done.
It did it step by step, seamless.
Interesting. I wonder if was he able to actually. I want to read into his story later on. I wonder if he was actually able to get that like programmed and because if he did, that guy is probably gonna be a millionaire, a billionaire.
You know, here's what I can tell you through what I know and some things that we're working on.
Fucking crazy, bro.
It will build it for you. It'll
ChatGPT.
Yeah, it'll lay out the steps, and so that's basically what he was using it for. Oh, we got a visitor
waters
here. We got waters coming
there
in.
You
we
go.
want to lock the door.
All right. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
You good, Bob?
Yeah, no, you straight, man. That'll be $1,000. No, I'm just kidding.
Are you filming now? Okay.
Yeah. You're in.
Yeah, you good, bro.
purified water today.
Awesome.
Because we out in spring.
You got a spring water?
Is there a
we got
shortage on
purified.
spring water?
Huh?
Is there a shortage on spring water?
Damn. There's a shortage. Oh, damn. Our springs are drying up.
Well, purified.
Okay.
Damn.
There's shortage on spring water. Because they have something happened with the spring. I don't know what happened.
There are all
Oh,
these
man.
chemical derails from these.
That's
Oh
what it
my
was.
God.
These train derailments done fucking contaminated all of our springs.
Trying to stop doing the spring.
Derailments.
Said derailments
You
are
know what's
fucking our
crazy
springs
though?
up.
You know what's crazy though is I was trying to think the documentary is killing me, but there's a documentary on Netflix. Oh God, I'm gonna get the name of it. But dude, it's like a whole story of all these people who had cancer, diabetes. I'm talking like hot,
Crazy shit.
disease, right? And they all went on juicing cleanses. 100%. They turned down chemo. They turned down all of this stuff. Went on juicing cleanses, and bro, every single one of them fucking reversed it.
That's
No
so-
trace.
Wow.
And that's why they killed Dr. Sebi. You know,
Sebi.
Dr. Sebi was curing all types of stuff, man. And yeah, that was. I don't want to get derailed here, but that's crazy, man. It just goes to show, bro. But it is. That's why I want to cut out meat so bad. And our first attempt to, so what we did is like today. So I'm doing raw vegetables. So we're talking about this on the podcast now, but why not? But I'm doing raw vegetables, right, with just a little bit of vinaigrette. So at lunch I had my zucchini, my cucumber, my broccoli, my carrots, a protein shake. And then after this, I'll do my raw fruit bowl. And then I'll eat my one meal at night at 6 o'clock. But what we did is we just called Chipotle and ordered the large tray of sofritos. You know, it's their non-meat. This shit's so good at Chipotle. But bro, you can order a bulk size of it for like $14.
You know what's hard for me about not eating meat? It's the and maybe it could be in my mind or not, but it's the energy, right? Like especially for building muscle and shit like that. Like meat right there is like your go-to. When you want to build muscle and maintain that mass and endurance, like you have to have meat, whether it be red meat or chicken.
Yeah, but
But
do
when I
you?
only
I'm gonna combat you on that.
go ahead, no, go ahead.
Combat you.
Cause
Dude, I heard this dude say all the freaking animals in the jungle they eat from grass. They're vegetable eaters. How can you get a silverback ape to be that strong?
Mhm.
All he got is a diet of just eating nuts and vegetables like that.
yeah.
So it's just like
I don't know, man.
I thought about that and I was like, dang, that is true. Because you got these horses that people ride on.
Yeah.
These horses, what do they eat, bro? They strong as hell.
So,
Yeah,
bro, there's a
I think it
documentary,
depends
bro.
on, doesn't it depend on like it has to depend on just like the species itself, because you also got like leopards and shit who are strong as fuck and they eat meat.
But
They're
people don't
meat
know, bro.
eaters.
Arnold's a vegan.
You know now.
But he, dude, have you seen the fucking documentaries? What's the documentary that combat completely the fastest and strongest athletes in the world are they don't eat meat, and their shit changed when they stopped eating meat. It's very interesting.
So when they
bro.
stopped, they became those people after they stopped eating meat.
Yeah, dude, and it actually started. The
Interesting.
documentary was led by Joe Rogan. Covered this.
Yeah.
But basically, it was a UFC fighter who injured himself that went on this journey. And long story short, he started cutting out meat, and he started to heal extremely fast. Well, then he noticed he started getting more energy. He started becoming more efficient. He started like this whole life change. So he went on this whole documentary, and I'm gonna get the name of that one too. I will tell you this. Jenna and I watched that documentary when it came out, and we went with no meat for about 3 or 4 months completely. I noticed a boost in energy. And the key is that you have to still, because what you obviously have to replace is you're losing a lot of your go-to proteins.
Yeah, you got to get the
so
right
you have
proteins.
to really be able to get your proteins from other sources.
Yeah, I think that's also what makes it hard, is that you have to get, like, you can't just eat one type of plant. You got to get a fucking variety of shit. You got to get beans in there, like a lot of things to.
But you get all your proteins
those
from like
proteins.
edamames and
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
chickpeas, and you just have to make sure you're eating a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, and each one of them shits is like $10. That's another thing,
Dude.
The fucking salad costs more than the burger.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right.
No doubt.
It's crazy.
The closer you get to the ground, I think the healthier you get. Like
I definitely agree with that.
So check
agree
this
with
out
that.
though. The sofritos at Chipotle, y'all eat that?
yeah.
I don't think
It's
I've had
the
that
vegan,
before.
bro. It's so good, but it's got 28 grams of protein on average, bro. But it's a vegan.
It's
they
vegan?
season it just right.
But what is it though? Is it tofu?
Yeah, it's tofu, right?
But isn't tofu full of soy and shit like that? That's not good for you.
It depends on how it's processed.
Because I know some, like my thing with like the whole vegan thing, and I know we're on the whole fucking podcast and switched it all
We'll
up.
split 2 episodes.
It's fucking
2 episodes.
The amount of saturated fats that are in there and the amount of different like vitamins and shit that aren't really good for us. Not vitamins, like soy, like the different types of oils that they use. That's not quite good for the human body. That actually increases inflammation and shit like that.
There's a difference between vegan and plant-based.
Mm-hmm.
So if you
I was just about to say.
is a total different route. Vegan, I'm gonna be honest, vegan is not the
Because
route.
it's
Yeah, vegan is bad. Like there's a lot of bad shit in vegan.
But if you go to plant-based route and you actually get like you saying chickpeas, your whole grains, your freaking fruits, mangoes, and all those fruits that actually got like vitamins in them and that are really good
Micronutrients and shit.
all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And you start doing the juice.
Get your ass on that mic, boy. Get on the mic now. Man, speaking facts. Here, all right, so I get that, right?
You start doing your juicing.
Yeah.
Once you start doing your juicing and whatnot, you definitely will see a change. Bro,
Okay.
you got to tell them about the time me and Ryan had did the freaking, what was
You
that?
guys did that
3-day
juice
juicing?
cleanse. The juice cleanse.
Yeah.
It's like a 3-day
Yeah.
juice
Pull up a
cleanse.
chair, shit. We'll just
Yeah,
sit this
fuck
thing
it,
in
bro.
the middle.
Well, so
Yeah,
here's.
where we at right now? I just went to the bathroom in the middle of a podcast. You just
I don't know, man. It's hard to switch.
We are
straight to
getting another
fucking
mic,
meat,
but
bro.
get up here.
But one thing he said was true is that cause my dad used to do irrigation. He said anything that's flowing through these waters that they put on it and they put these pesticides on this, the plant's gonna eat, the plant's gonna grow like that. The animals gonna eat from that, and it's gonna contaminate. It's just a cycle that contaminates everything.
Yeah, because the pesticides get soaked through the soil, which then gets into our water system, which then is being
Cows
used to
eat that,
fucking
you know,
feed the
so it's
cows. Yeah, I get that.
It's
I get that. The hardest part though is I know that as humans, when we eat plant-based products, we don't absorb all the protein in the plant-based product versus animal-based product. So our like whey protein, our body absorbs almost 100% of that. Whereas like a plant protein, our body only absorbs 50% of that. So the proteins needed to rebuild muscle and all that shit for bodily functions, you got to eat twice as more in plants than you need to do in like a steak or like a piece of chicken.
Yeah, but
So-
you got to think about, the thing is, you got to think about, that scares me a little bit, is it's like, I would rather like substitute my protein. So say, for example, that's why today I had 2 protein shakes, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm making sure it's clean. It's not whey.
Yeah.
I would almost rather eat more though, like consume more to replace my protein than the meat, because of the simple fact that I don't think chicken and steak is bad for you. I think today it is, and I don't think you can get it clean, because they're pumping those things with so much antibiotics and so many different medications that we're eating that. Then if you get into the spiritual side of it and you think about energy, you're eating death. And the way that they kill these animals, these animals aren't going in a soft. Yeah, dude. So you gotta, when I think about it, I start getting all in my head. Because I'm like, damn, man, like, what's the leading cause of heart disease? It comes from meat. It comes from meat, bro. And that's why when you go to the doctor, what's the first thing a doctor X's out with any type of diagnosis? Meat, red meat.
That is true. Yeah.
It's the first thing they say to cut out. Cut out your red meat. It goes with everything.
Interesting.
So you think about that,
I question it because I also know that red meat has creatine in it, which is natural, which is probably one of the best supplements that you can take. And red meat naturally has that.
So maybe you find out where else provides that source though. What else provides that source? You know what I'm saying? Like,
shit crazy, man.
It is
tough,
crazy
bro.
because it's a whole conversation. But it's funny that we brought this up because this is back on another. Like, this is a journey that Jenna and I have been on before that we just started to reignite this week. And, going back to it. So Safrida's from Chipotle. Chipotle is supposed to be, they're one of the only restaurant establishments that's completely GMO free. They use no genetically modified ingredients. And then their Sofritas is plant-based. It's not vegan. So it's plant-based. So going back to what you're saying, but you can order it in bulk. and it's like $14. So what we did is she just orders a bulk order, like a catering platter of it. And then tonight we'll boil our white rice, and then there's our carbs and our protein. And we get enough protein out of it. It's just like eating regular meat, but we're eliminating the meat out of it. But I will say this, man. It's like, for me, once we did it, I felt the cleanest I'd ever felt. And I felt a lot of energy when we were eating that way. It was just my bringing up and conditioning of how much I love steak and chicken. That was me, that caused me to like go back to it. It's just, I just craved it so bad. You know, but again, I don't know, I'm gonna start the journey again, like not trying to go vegan. I just want to limit my meats, like very minimal.
I think that's that'll be a good start.
To be honest, that is also taps in. Your food got hormones in it now, and it gets you to get that addiction.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
no, that's true.
I think it's like I think it's just like stages, right? So for me, this plan of like me eating this way is just 4 days a week. You know, my thing is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You know, I'm going to the gym, and then I have my some egg whites this morning for breakfast. Some like a banana, and then I ate my raw vegetables, and then I had a protein shake, and then I'll eat my raw fruit, a protein shake, and then tonight I'll have my sofritas with my white rice, maybe another vegetable or something, and then I'm gonna try to not eat after 6:30, right? So I want to eat my meal at 6, no eating, and then go until 11 o'clock tomorrow. Have my vegetables. So anyway, I only want to do that 4 days a week, right? And then the weekend, you know, Dave's Hot Chicken, French fries,
Dave's Hot Chicken.
Yeah, because I've learned too, man. I think we are so extreme with things. We said, I know I am. You know, I'm an all or nothing type guy, but I've learned in certain things it doesn't work that way, because then it's just hard to stick to and commit. So I'm like, man, just like moderation, just balance it out, man. All I want to do is eat like that 4 days out of the 7, and then exercise or go to the gym 4 out of the 7, and exercise 6 out of the 7, and get back on that track and that routine. Yeah, because it's got to be a focus, because the health is what drives this keyboard. It's what works this phone. You know, I got to take care of this shit.
Also think about just different types of meat that are better than the steak or anything. Like,
I hardly eat steak. That's what I want to get into. Fucking elk and bison and
that's the good meat.
That's what I think about when I think of like, you know, sticking to a meat diet. Is like those clean sources of meat.
It's just hard to get.
Because that shit gives you, bro, that shit gives you energy, bro. When you eat something like that, you feel like you can fucking run through a brick wall.
Very lean, very like, you know.
Even certain steaks, like I've bought certain steaks that were like on the higher end, and like after you eat it, you get like this energy, bro. That's just like, you know, so. Yeah. But it could be, I don't know. What is it attributed to? I'm not fucking sure. I really don't know. But that's why it's hard for me to cut out meat.
But I don't think it's, again, when I say contributor, I don't necessarily think it's I don't think it's the meat itself. I think it's just the way it's presented to us now. That's my opinion.
It's got all that shit in it.
Yeah, like
because I think if you get like an actual free range chicken that has its, you know what I'm saying?
You can really get it that way.
Yeah.
Then dude, we could do a whole podcast on the food thing, and I'll give you guys some documentaries. And, you know, there's just, it really just comes down to, again, man, it's our country, man, and
it is.
You know, Matt was sharing with me today that McDonald's in some country, their fries have 3 ingredients. McDonald's fries here have 19 ingredients.
It's fucking terrible.
And it just comes back down to, again, maybe it's not steak or chicken. Maybe it's just American steak and chicken.
No, facts. Yeah. I mean, because like, why would a fries have 19 ingredients? The only ingredients you need in fries is 1, and that's fucking potatoes.
Fry that shit, throw some salt on there, maybe. Another interesting fact, man. So I, here one more little thing to tap into this. One more little thing to tap into this. So I'm originally I grew up a lot in the country, man. So I grew up, raising chickens and working chicken houses and cows and all of this, right?
Yeah.
But what I always found very interesting, man, my Uncle Grady, Luverne, Alabama, he raised chickens for Tyson Chicken and Hardy and all these big companies and food lines and grocery stores, right? And this is what he did his whole life. And I remember as a kid, man, like working the chicken houses, and they were open, and you could see through the screen, and you would go in there and work the chickens. And then I remember as a kid, we would have to go in there and walk through and pick up like the dead chickens, but there wouldn't be a lot. You just pick them up, you feed them, You know, you spread the food all around, you feed them, you throw a few little dead chicks that didn't make it into a bucket, blah, blah, blah. Well, as I got older, I noticed that things started to really change with his chicken house. They became enclosed, right? And then all of a sudden, they had big corn feeders feeding these chickens. And then I would notice, too, that when we would walk into them, there would be hundreds of dead chickens, massive dead chickens. So as I got older and started to ask questions, it was really about me in like my late 20s when I really had the conversation with my Uncle Grady, because I didn't pay attention that he stopped eating chicken. And I'm like, Uncle Grady, because my Uncle Grady's a country man, dude. He steak and, you know, steak and eggs for breakfast, but he just stopped eating chicken. Yeah. Well, then I learned that during all the time is when Monsanto came in and basically strong-armed the farmers. And there's a whole documentary on that. And they basically came through all the American land and strong-armed all the farmers. Like, look, you can either shut it down or you're going to raise these chickens like we tell you you're going to raise them. You're going to start feeding them corn. And then basically what happened is the reason they would die is because they would pump them so much full of antibiotics that they would get overweight and their legs would break. And at the time when I was younger, my uncle said that the average chicken that he would send off to a truck was around a year old or older. That's when they would come and pick them up to take them to get butchered. And by this time, he said the average age was 3 months.
Yeah, bro, eating all these young ass chickens.
Young chickens and bro, you notice the chicken breasts in Publix and shit.
Yeah, it's just all blown up,
big ass,
which is so fucking crazy. And then the eggs. If you ever raised chickens and then actually got eggs when they're a couple years old, and had an egg from one of them fucking chickens in the backyard, bro, it's like potent. It's like yellow,
real yellow,
really
right?
Eggy smell to it, but it's fucking good. Yeah, you go to the store, it's like pale yellow. It's such a different feel and taste from the fucking free-range chicken in the backyard.
Bro, they even mess up our food, man.
They fuck it all up, man. That's
we went on a whole journey there.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get a list of these documentaries, though, man. There's some documentaries. You get into the food industry, and I did that for quite some time, man, and it caused like some really deep depression. When you start really looking into the food, it gets very hard, man, because you get upset. Then you start realizing how it's tied to like our disease and how sick we are as humans in America specifically. And then you get paranoid about eating and stuff. So it just, you really get in your head about this stuff, man. And it messed me up for a while. I remember this, man. Like, but you start looking into these organizations, bro, like Monsanto, and start putting in the connections to Congress. And
it's crazy, bro. I mean, because then you start thinking like, damn, what if everything I know was wrong? Like, what do I really know now? Because you know, people think eat 3 meals a day, carb, protein, and vegetable, but that might be the complete wrong fucking way to eat.
From what I understand and what we started to learn is it is. You should feed your body every 2 to 3 hours, small portions, because when you're feeding your body, you're supposed to feed your body more than the 3 times a day. When we feed it that way is when it stores everything, right? It holds on because it's not sure when it's going to eat, or you have the complete opposite spectrum of that where it's like get all of your nutrients and stuff in a window and then fast the rest of it to give it time to digest it. So it all comes down to either feeding yourself in small portions frequently or feeding yourself a healthy portion once, because it's all about the time that the body's down to actually break down what it is that you're giving it.
What if we're supposed to have a mix of each? Like, what if in the cut, you know, for a certain period of time, you're supposed to eat, you know, every couple hours, and then for another period of time, you're supposed to fast for longer than you
probably
eat. What if that's the fucking?
It could be, dude.
You know,
I'm a huge believer in fasting, although I don't do it often. But
they say 2 words. I'm gonna leave. Dis-ease. I heard one guy say dis-ease. Disease is your body at dis-ease.
Yeah, dis-ease.
And then I heard also the breakfast is us breaking our fast. So I just believe like we definitely need to, and all Americans just have to cut back on the eating, because the obesity in America is at
fucking all-time high, bro.
Other countries,
you
don't see the kids is not looking like this.
Well, I feel like we've reached a point in our time where like we can literally choose how our body, because our body is naturally going to adapt to anything we put to it, right? So it's like we obviously can choose when we want to eat for the most part and when we don't want to eat. So now it's like, you know, how do we make sure we make the right choices every single time? Because if we had no food to eat, then we wouldn't have no choice. We would have to fast for fucking 8 to 10 hours a day before getting our meal, because we'd be hunting for it.
Yeah.
right? But did that make us healthier back in the day when we were hunter-gatherers and shit, or were we unhealthier back in the day versus now?
I mean, I don't know. I think we live longer now, right?
Apparently.
I
yeah,
think
we
so.
do.
I think the average age we live longer.
But is that attributed to the food that we eat or the medicines? You get what I'm saying?
Probably the medicines in the life.
Yeah, what happened? That's what it was. They was going to wars. We had so many fucking wars back in the day.
Bro, like really fighting.
Playing.
Nah, it sounds legit. Yeah, man. I don't know, dude.
I don't know, man. This is crazy.
Because we do. I don't know, man. We're also the sickest country. One of the sickest countries. You know.
I hate that.
Yeah, me too, man.
Because we didn't ask for that.
It's
like
crazy.
I'm trying to just live my life and make it to a couple 100 years old.
I would love to be like 101.
Fucking
maybe 105. You know, I would love to live like 105,
bro.
man.
That'd be dope.
But what we know is it all comes down to what we eat and how we eat. So that's why I'm really trying to. It's so hard, bro.
Yeah,
it's so hard to clean up your diet. It's hard, dude. Or remain extremely consistent with it for long periods of time.
I will say this. All right, I got family in Puerto Rico. Shout out to my grandma and peoples, abuelita, and all they eat over there is batata, which is it's a root that grows in the ground. It's like a potato. It's like yuca. You ever had yuca before? Yuca?
I'm not sure.
Yuca fries? Well, it's like a potato, but it's like another form of it. But they eat that with saltfish, and that's like the majority of their diet. A couple roots from the ground, saltfish cooked, and that's really it.
Yeah,
and she's kicking, boy, and 90 years old, and she's everywhere drinking black coffee and
but that's
doing
also
her thing.
Common there, right?
Yeah,
and obesity common. Really isn't a big issue.
Not a PR like that. At least from what I know. All I know is all the old people in the country, in the mountains, they still back there with machetes chopping shit down, cutting shit up.
Working, right? At an older age.
Hell yeah, bro. Wow. Yep. Picking bananas, picking the panas, the jackfruit from the top of the... No, bro.
See, it's
crazy.
Dude, it's got to go hand in hand, bro.
I don't know.
It has to go hand in hand.
That's what I want to... Like, shit, I'll be 100 years old on top of a mountain picking jackfruits with a little machete. With a couple chickens.
A dream. I don't know, dude. I've been...
It's just crazy, bro.
It goes into so many different ways, man.
Fact,
bro. I
ask ChatGPT what to do next.
I have wanted to. I've really been considering it.
Hey,
I
man.
did. Fun fact, not that maybe we'll circle it back in here and close out this podcast, and then we'll continue our conversation, and maybe we make a whole podcast around this because I know we're throwing out a lot of stuff.
This is scary. Yeah, no.
If you're still hanging in there,
shout out to you.
Shout out to you. I know we're running around in circles. I was playing around though when the water guy came in because I was like, playing on ChatGPT because again it's hard to give somebody where to start. But I told it, I said, hey, give me 10 websites that I can easily make money on right now with no money involved. This thing said, here are 10 websites you can use to make money online with relatively low barriers to entry. Amazon Mechanical Turk.
The fuck is that?
www.mturk.com. You can complete simple tasks like data entry, image tagging, and surveys for a small fee. Didn't know about that. Etsy.com.
Mm-hmm.
Create products or digital designs and sell them on Etsy, which ChatGPT will actually create for you. Shutterstock, if you're a photographer, illustrator, or videographer, we know that, right?
Shutterstock before.
Medium.
Mm-hmm.
Medium will allow you to earn money through their partner program based on engagement of paying members who read your work. Writing articles. Well, guess what? If you don't know how to write an article, ChatGPT will write the article for you.
So you looked that up when the guy was telling us about his wife with lupus?
Well, it was right as he was walking in.
I'm playing.
Usertesting.com. You can test websites and apps and provide feedback. They will pay you per test completed. Swag Bucks.
What the fuck is that?
Take surveys, watch videos, and shop online using their search engine. Points will be redeemed for gift cards or cash via PayPal.
Fire.
Again, just...
Yeah, bro, it just gave you legit ways to make bread, to make some money.
You can literally... I asked it, I said, how can ChatGPT help insurance companies? I was just curious.
Mm-hmm.
Customer service, and it goes into detail. I'm not going to read the whole description, but basically customer service. It can help Virtual assistants handle customer inquiries, provide policy information, claims processing, risk assessment,
Dope.
personalized marketing, document analysis, internal communication, training and onboarding, regulatory compliance. AI models will help insurance companies monitor regulatory changes and ensure compliance by identifying potential issues, automating reporting tasks, and providing insights into those areas that may need attention.
We should ask ChatGPT what's the healthiest food to eat right now to prevent heart disease and obesity.
I think fish. Because omega-3 is
Yeah,
probably
omega-3s
one of the
are
most
good, yep.
critical things for heart, right?
Yeah, but not farm-raised fish, right? You need like the wild caught.
Yeah, it's got to be
salmon
wild
and
caught
shit
because
like
you got to
that.
be careful with that shit.
Yeah, bro.
You go
Like
fuck around in
tilapia.
America and get some tilapia or salmon.
Fuck that.
Even the salmon, bro, they raise them in farms.
Yeah, farm-raised
They're
salmon.
pumped corn.
Trash.
That's another thing, bro. They feed all of these fish, chicken, everything's on a corn diet. And the
Why?
Corn,
Why?
because we don't have. Do you know it's a federal offense? You know, if you got caught growing corn, bro, you go to prison.
I did not know that.
It's patented by the United States government. They patent the
Goddamn.
corn.
You know my girl, bro, they made, they were good. All right, I'm not gonna lie, they were good. But Trader Joe's sells these corn ribs. And they're corn, but they're cut in a way that it looks like a rib and they're seasoned. So they are pretty freaking good. But I just don't I don't think corn is that healthy to be eaten.
Not now because it's genetically modified. They make it in a lab. But
Oh,
the
shit.
U.S. government, watch this. Hold on. Let's just keep it going for 5 more minutes.
Fuck it, man. Keep it going, bro.
Monsanto owns the patent for corn.
You just asked it who owns the corn patent?
Yeah, dude. Monsanto.
Interesting.
Look into Monsanto.
Interesting.
Fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, man,
The best healthy. What's the healthiest food to eat for a healthy heart? Fruits and vegetables. Colorful fruits and vegetables provide essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. These will help lower your blood pressure and inflammation. That's
Yep.
another thing. Dude, inflammation is the root of all sickness.
Yeah, yep.
There's not
Yep.
a single disease that doesn't start with inflammation, which is interesting. So
Yeah.
I always thought, like, man, if you start there, like, don't worry about anything else. If you worry about attacking inflammation, you're fighting every disease, and it starts with mucus. So that's why, like, sea moss, stuff like that. But that's interesting too, because I never really thought about that a lot. Not majority of my life. It was probably like a year ago I realized, like, inflammation is the absolute cause of every single
Fucking
thing.
disease that's out
Another-
there.
You want to lock the door.
Yeah.
But yeah, so whole grains, quinoa.
I do know definitely oats and stuff like that is
Yeah.
good for you too. Because I went to the doctor recently too, and bro, my cholesterol went down so much just by eating fucking morning
Oatmeal and quinoa, rich
Yep.
in fiber, which help lower cholesterol levels.
oats. Yeah.
Healthy fats from avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil.
Shit. Yeah.
Fish, fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and tuna are high in omega-3
We should
fatty
ask
acids.
it if tilapia is a real fish, and where is tilapia from? Apparently, it's man-made, right? I thought tilapia was a fake fish. I don't know. Maybe I'm
I think
wrong.
it's the worst. I know it's the worst for you.
Or like it doesn't have any nutritional value or some shit like that.
They painted a picture as if it was when it first came out, though.
Yeah. When tilapia first dropped.
So, I mean, it is a real fish.
Okay. Guys, these are real life examples of how to use ChatGPT.
Yeah. What's the healthiest fish? What's the healthiest fish to eat to maximize health?
We're going to name this podcast A Group of Guys Go on ChatGPT and Research Fish. What happens next?
Dude, fish is so good.
I fuck with fish. Honestly, I could be a pescatarian. I can eat only fish.
Bro, fish.
I really enjoy fish.
The health benefits, I mean, it can improve your heart health, your brain function, and reduce inflammation.
Yeah, fish is the shit.
Salmon is one of the most nutritious fish there is. But again, you have to make sure it's wild caught.
You ever gotten that wild caught salmon from Aldi's?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Boy.
The pre-seasoned?
No, I to be honest, I never got pre-seasoned. I
Bro, we
seasoned
got
it
the
myself,
we got the pre-seasoned.
and I make a killer salmon, bro.
Bro, sardines is one of the top. I could not eat no sardines.
I've never tried a sardine.
Boo.
Aren't they like super salty? Is
Yeah,
what I
they're
hear?
like the ones in the can, just
Yeah.
like a little fish. My
You used to
dad
have
used to
them
eat the
little
shit out of
sardines
those
and crackers?
things, though. Yeah, my dad used to eat that shit. I never messed with that.
I'm about to go get a can of sardines tonight.
Mackerel.
I heard about mackerel.
Mackerel's a really good fish.
Never had that.
Very rich in vitamin B12, D, and other nutrients. And then tuna, trout, herring, anchovies.
Never had an anchovy.
People eat that on their pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, again,
Crazy.
using ChatGPT, you could say, now, actually, this might be a good example. So we're asking it questions, right? So now what I'll do is I'll say, write me a diet to improve. I'm gonna type this real quick and then I'll read it out, or I'll try to do it while I'm typing, but it's hard for me. But all right, so write me a diet to improve my heart health and overall well-being. Also, I want to tone up and get in shape to maximize the length of my life. Okay? So I told it to write me a diet to improve my heart health, my overall well-being. Also, I want to tone up and get in shape to maximize the length of my life. All right, so now it's going right into it. I'm creating you a healthy heart diet plan that involves incorporating nutrient-rich whole foods and support overall well-being. In addition to a balanced diet, regular exercise, stress management. Day 1, breakfast. Overnight oats made with rolled oats, unsweetened almond milk, chia seeds, chopped nuts, fresh berries, and drizzle of honey. For lunch, you're going to have spinach salad with grilled chicken, cherry tomatoes, cucumber, red onions, feta cheese, and dressing made of olive oil and balsamic vinegar. The dinner is going to be baked salmon with a side of quinoa and steamed broccoli. And for a snack, you're going to have baby carrots and hummus. Day 2, Greek yogurt with sliced almonds, honey, and mixed berries. For lunch, you're going to have avocado wrap with turkey and whole grain tortilla, lettuce, and tomato. For dinner, lentil soup with a side of whole grain bread and mixed green salads. So it's writing me day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Okay,
And it already has it all laid out for each day.
Bro, it's laying it out, right? So then what I tell it is I say, create me somebody's calling me. Create me a shopping list in table format. It's still writing my day 5 here. Day 5, we're going to have chia seeds pudding made with unsweetened almond milk, topped with sliced almonds and berries. Lunch, we're going to have...
Send this shit to your chef and be like, yo, chef.
Bro, this is crazy.
Hook me up, man.
It's just literally, it's just getting after it.
That shit's just spitting.
Yeah.
For lunch, Capri salad with fresh tomatoes, mozzarella, basil, and a drizzle of balsamic glaze.
Yeah,
It
dude.
just sound like he throwing down in the kitchen right now as we
Dude.
speak.
In addition to this meal plan, so now it's telling me also I should exercise, right? I could actually have it write my exercise plan, but real quick, let's get the grocery list in table format.
Tell you the category. Yeah, the category. So it's actually creating a whole table of fruits, vegetables, and it's giving you each different
I
one
could
in
have
each
probably told it to
category.
include brands if I wanted to.
Yeah, whole grains, vegetables, fruits. You got brown rice, quinoa, whole grain bread on the whole grain section.
Off with Andrew Tate.
We didn't even talk about Andrew Tate.
Andrew
My
Tate's
dog
out
is
of
free.
prison. Yes, he is.
He's out.
Why is he so quiet?
No idea.
Either he is silenced or he's working on something.
Bro, he hasn't said a fucking word.
I'm eager to see him say something, though.
He's probably still pacing around doing push-ups and reading the Quran, man. Shout out to him.
I hope he's not silenced.
I hope not either.
I will be let down. That would destroy me, man. I feel like he needs to come back with some vengeance.
Talk his shit for a little bit.
Let us know what is going on, Andrew.
That's what it is. I just want to be like, not get an inside look, but just understand,
What's happening?
what's happening with that whole thing. Because
Yeah.
him and his brother, bro, they got this look in their eyes that's like, when they stepped out. Have you seen the video when they
Yeah.
stepped out, bro?
I
It's
watched
like,
it
bro, they
live.
look like they either seen some things or they, I don't know, or they got some shit planned or something. Because those boys look like they got a little chip on the shoulder now, which is interesting.
They have to, though, bro.
Yeah.
Because they were treated very badly in this whole case. They were rejected on bond. They were held on no evidence.
See, that's one thing that fucking blows my mind, bro. All that, and they haven't been able to prove anything.
No evidence at all.
Nothing.
Which is what's crazy, dude. To
Yeah.
hold them on no evidence and no bond. And then I guess they moved them to like bad like bad living conditions and like these small rooms and it was just it was just not a good situation from what I was understanding. Pat Bet-David was interviewing his lawyer off and on during the whole case. But it's not over. They're just released, I guess, until trial. So, but I don't know if maybe they're just being quiet until trial, or if they're just working on something and they're gonna come out of nowhere. If the classic Andrew Tate story would be to come out of nowhere and just hit it again, bro. Just like all of a sudden he just takes over social media again, but on a whole another level.
Fucking level, yeah.
But I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It's going to be interesting. So, but we didn't even talk about Andrew. Now we're talking about Andrew Tate. We're wrapping up a podcast. So, anyway, that is an episode of Greatness by Choice, the GBC podcast. Hit the subscribe button.
Make sure you subscribe. Comment down below. Let us know what you think. What type of foods? Yeah, exactly. What is your diet? What are you doing to maintain your healthiness or not be healthy?
Bro, I'm going to talk about one more thing.
Talk about it.
All right, first off, I highly recommend this book. Like, I recommend that you download it today. It's an hour and a half long. Have you guys ever heard of Sean Whalen on social media? If you saw his face, you'll probably... I don't follow him on social media, but once I saw who he was, I know him. He always wears the hat, lions, not sheep. No? Okay. Anyway, he wrote a book called Get Shit Done. It's an hour and a half long. Probably one of my favorite books of all time. And why am I going into this? I'm going into this because what you're talking about the diet. Because, dude, it's like, it's so straightforward. But he talks about the core P's of life. The 4 core P's. Power, passion, hold on, I can't mess this up. Whether we put this in the podcast or not, I don't know. We'll see if it makes it, but I have it. Power, passion, purpose, and productive. So basically, you allocate, you plan your day around the core 4.
Yeah.
Okay. The power is body and health. The passion is your relationships. Your purpose is your mind and spirit. And productive is business and money. Why I'm saying this is because he was talking about the diet thing. And dude, this guy's just like, listen, it's almost like Dave Goggins, but on another level. He's like, if you sit there, if you're listening to this book and you give me this excuse of, but hey, Sean, eating healthy is expensive, or you don't understand my hereditary things that I carry. He's like, you're a fucking lazy liar that won't take responsibility. Get a hold of your diet, you know, just straight, like, just
straight up, really.
Just like there's no excuse. Like, you're just trying to make yourself feel better. So if your problem is your diet, it's just because you're lazy. It has nothing to do with your genes, your hereditary, or any type of thing that you're fighting. It just has to do with what foods you're choosing. I don't know why I brought that up. Maybe it just related when you guys said that, but check
That's
your
what
diet.
we do here, man. We give resources, give you books that we recommend, give you resources that we're playing with, give you all the sauce, because we really don't hold anything back here at GBC, you know. We're giving you guys full insight on what we got going on here.
And we're not canceled yet.
And we're not fucking canceled yet. But hey, June 30th is right around the corner. We'll just have to keep seeing it. Yeah, that was our original goal, but we might have to push it back.
We called out Monsanto today. That's a pretty big,
you know. Yeah. Well, we didn't really call them out. We just mentioned that they own the corn thing. But ChatGPT said that. So if there's anybody that you go after, it's ChatGPT.
Well, Monsanto is a crooked, terrible fucking organization and company, and I can't believe that they're backed by the United States Congress. And most of the United States Congress line their pockets with Monsanto, and Monsanto's what's killing the American people and our kids, and it's all led by the United States government. So fuck y'all.
Opinions, man. You gotta fucking respect it. Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's it right there, baby. That's a cut. That was like a cut.